You need a flash? Well, let's find out what is the best flash for you. Today, in the studio. Hello everyone, my name is Alex Silva and today let's talk about third-party flashes. I chose this topic because, well, it is a common question about that I've heard quite a bit lately, whether in online forums or in person. And my usual response is, well, get a flash from the same camera, from the same brand of your camera. The advantage of that approach is that you know for sure that those flashes will work right away without any compatibility issues. Well, you may have compatibility issues with Nikon, but that's a different story. But then again, even though these flashes are great, they are expensive. So another option that you may try to find out is, well, third-party flashes. And for that, I did some research and found out, even though I use mostly Godox flashes, there's a reason for that, I wanted to figure out if there were some other options, and there are quite a bit. So I'm going to list my main recommendations, starting with their power settings. I'm going to start with the highest guide number, which is 64 meters. And then with each category for each guide number, I will list from the least expensive to the most expensive. So you have quite a few options. So let's start with the guide number 64. That's 64 meters. And I found only one option here, which is the Metz Mechablitz 64AF1. which is a AA battery powered. It has a dual flash, which means the main head may swivel and tilt while you have another flash pointing forward all the time, which is less powerful, and it may help in order to fill in shadows when you're bouncing the main light. It's very interesting. It's a very interesting option. You find it available for Canon, Nikon, Olympus or Micro Four Thirds, Pentax, and Sony. And the price for this great flash is $460. Compared to other brand flashes, it's less expensive, but not too much. So it's great. It's super powerful, but well, it's a bit expensive for my taste. The next one is, I think, the most popular category in terms of the guide number or the power. And this is something between the 58 meters and 60 meter range in terms of guide number or power. And you have a lot of options here. But I came up with the list of the following products. The first, at $65, the least expensive option in this category is the Godox TT600, which is a manual flash. It will be compatible with pretty much anything, and it's AA powered. It can also work with as a radio slave, but also as an optical slave, and it's just great. It's super versatile, and at that price, it's just amazing. The next option at $110 is the Godox TT685. This is also AA battery powered, that can work as manual but also as TTL, and it's compatible, or you can find versions that are compatible with Canon, Nikon, Olympus, Fujifilm, and Sony. Great flash. I actually own a couple of them. The next option that I'm going to list here is the Godox V850 Mark II at $140. This is a manual flash like the TT600, except this is powered by a lithium-ion battery. So it will last a bit longer, and if I remember correctly, it also has a shorter recycle time, it is great. So you have another option there. Next one in the list is the Godox V860 Mark II at $180. This is also powered by a lithium-ion battery, except this has TTL functions, and you will find versions for Canon, Nikon, Sony, Olympus, and Fujifilm. Next in the list, and within the same power range, is the Nissin Di-866. This is AA battery powered. It has a dual flash like the Metz Mechablitz that I mentioned before. It costs $345, but you will only find versions for Canon, Nikon, or Sony. And the most expensive flash that I found in this range is the Nissin MG8000 at $560. This may sound quite a bit expensive. The thing is, it is AA battery powered, so you can find batteries everywhere. It is a dual flash that we have mentioned before, but it's high heat resistance. It has a quartz emitter that can handle a lot of flashes without having heating issues. So it's a very interesting option if you have really demanding situations. Yeah, it may be a good option for you. However, it is only available in TTL versions compatible with Canon or Nikon. The next category that I found that are still pretty popular is something between the 52 and 54 meter guide number. And I found three options here. The first one is the Metz Mechablitz 52AF. I actually own two of them. This is AA powered, whether it is you can use it in manual mode, but you can also find it available in TTL versions for Canon, Nikon, Sony, Olympus, and Pentax. It is priced at $260, so it's very, very good. Considering that the step from the 58 or 68 meter range is not too far, I would seriously consider this option, and that's why I bought this flash in particular. The next option, also priced at $260, is the Nissin Di-700A. It is AA powered, and you will find it available for or compatible with Canon, Nikon, and Sony. Next, and the last option that I found in this range is at $340, the Nissin i60A. It's a bit more powerful. It's AA powered. You can find versions that are compatible with Canon, Nikon, Sony, Olympus, and Fujifilm. And this is also part of the Air ecosystem in the Nissin system, which is similar to Godox's radio frequency system. So the controller needs to be specific, but the flashes themselves, when they are in slave mode, they are in essence multi-brand. So it's pretty good. The next category that I found that I still find it pretty popular, very useful, and very versatile flashes are something between the guide number of 35 to 44 meters. The first option there, or the least expensive option there, is the Godox TT350. I also own two of those. Those are AA battery powered, and you can find versions compatible with Canon, Nikon, Sony, Olympus, and Fujifilm. Those are priced at $85. The next option at $160 is the Godox V350, which is in essence the same as the TT350, except this is powered by a lithium-ion battery, and you can also find them compatible with Canon, Nikon, Sony, Olympus, and Fujifilm. And finally, the last option that I found in this range at $200 is the Metz Mechablitz 44EF2, which is AA battery powered. It includes a video light instead of a dual flash. And you can find versions that are compatible with way more systems: Canon, Nikon, Sony, Pentax, Olympus, and Fujifilm. And those are my main recommendations, something between a guide number of 35 to 64. Those are third-party options that I found very reliable, compatible with many systems, or you can use in many different options. Many people, whether in person or in online forums, also recommend and use Yongnuo flashes. Even though my experience has not been very good, I decided to do a bit more of research of these flashes, and I concluded again that I cannot recommend Yongnuo. While looking for different options in these different categories, I found that, well, pretty much all the options that are available from Yongnuo are within the 58 meters and 60 meters, so they are pretty powerful. However, they are not super compatible with, they are mostly manual flashes or Canon or Nikon versions. You can say that yes, Canon and Nikon, well, they are the largest camera manufacturers, but they are leaving out pretty much everybody else. If you use a micro four thirds system camera, you are out of luck with Yongnuo, unless you use manual flashes. And even then, if you're going to use off-camera flash and you want to control these flashes using radio triggers, they also have a bit of a mess with, in essence, three different radio frequency systems that are not always compatible, and even some flashes are not compatible with some flashes are only compatible with, let's say, Canon or Nikon, and I'm not sure I can recommend Yongnuo, because you're going to find out that if you have even many different flashes from Yongnuo, you may not be able to trigger them all. So no, I would stay away from Yongnuo flashes, at least for the time being. I think they are trying to integrate everything into a one system, just that like Godox and Nissin are doing, but in the meantime, yeah, I would stick to my list. In any case, I really hope you like this video. I hope you find this informative, useful, but also entertaining, and if that is the case, please press the like button. And of course, if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, because yes, this you find these videos useful, of course, subscribe to it. But very importantly, please share this video with your friends. It's the best thing that you could do for me. In the meantime, I need you to please remember to keep learning and keep shooting. See you next week.